Okay, it's starting. 8, 9. I don't know how many people these are. Okay. Here you go.
You want to play?
Okay,
For me.
start.
There we go.
I start.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Just out of random curiosity, how many of you guys know how to tie a tie? 1, 2,
I know how to tie.
3. Okay. Wow, that's low. Okay, so 67% of people actually do know how to tie a tie, and out of the 33% that don't know how to tie a tie, it's actually people that are 18 and under, which is actually pretty funny. Okay, so by the end of my speech, you guys will know where the history of the tie came from. You guys will know like what kind of styles to wear with a tie, which is actually really nice. I like your shirt. And how to tie a tie. So the history. It started off in China with the Chinese emperor and the terracotta army. They wore neckties when they're buried. So their ties were a little bit different than that, like as what we see now. They're like more like, they look kind of like handkerchiefs, and then they like just wrapped around their neck. And that was back in 221 BC. The Romans were next. It started in 113 AD, and their ties, they were used to keep their vocal cords warm. So I'm guessing they're more of like a scarf. They look more like a scarf to keep their vocal cords warm, which is actually a little different. In the 1800s, the tie was not known as a tie. It was called a cravat. Yeah, cravat. And basically, if you touched another person's cravat, or tie as we call it now, it's like saying it's a taboo, or that you're trying to challenge the other person. So yeah, like if you touch another person's cravat, you're like challenging them to a duel. The 1920s and then the 1940s boom. 1920s, that's when the French, they developed a designer tie, and then it became more really expensive and really nice looking. The Duke of Windsor, he created the Windsor tie, which is like what we see now. It's kind of like the standard tie that people do. And so the 1920s and 1940s, they had the wider ties rather than the thinner ties. And so when the 50s hit, they started thinning out the ties because it was less of a hassle, I guess. Okay, so how to wear a tie with like certain colors, I guess. With a solid shirt, you can always go with a solid tie or a pattern tie or design tie. But the thing about design ties, you would have to really like keep it very kind of simple-ish. You don't want to really do it too much with a tie. A fine lines are like really, really thin lines. I would say yours is a fine line. I don't know if you want to pan yourself. But yours is a fine line. It's really, really thin. Yeah, it's really thin. And you can either go striped, solid, or you can have designs. But with the designs, like I said, you can go like really simple. The Bengal ties, or the Bengal shirt, it's a little bit of thicker lines. It's like really, really thick lines. And then those are usually worn with like solid or design. Because you wouldn't like stripe, don't stripe. It's a little weird. Like it kind of doesn't go. The window pane, it kind of looks like I called it like a graph shirt because it looks like a graph, like all the lines on a graph. And you can always wear it with a solid or design because the stripes kind of just throw it off a little bit. The plaid, I don't know if you guys can see like my pencil drawing. The plaid shirts, they usually go with solid or stripes. And so it's like really simple because plaid, it kind of has a lot of checkerboard kind of look on it. So it's really, you just go with solid or stripes. And so, okay, so let me just transition and show you guys how to tie a tie. So this one's called a half Windsor tie. I don't know if you guys will remember this by the end of the time, but it's pretty easy. So you guys can all see, you guys take the narrow end, you guys can have the wide end on your right shoulder. And so all you do is just cross the wider end with the narrow end like this. And then you kind of hold the middle so that it's kind of firm. And you're going to take the wide end on this side, you're just going to wrap it around. And then you're just going to bring it to the other side so you see the seam on the outside. And then you take the wider end, just take it right inside, and you pull it down. And this is called a triangle.
4.
And if you guys see the triangle, like, you guys can see the triangle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the triangle, it looks like that. And then you just take the wide end, and you just wrap it around. You wrap it behind it, and then you bring it up the loop. And then, so I'm pretty sure you don't just leave it like this, because this is pretty ugly.
Yeah.
So you have to really just take the end, and then you put it right in between, like the little crease right here. And it's going to be a little bit opened. You kind of just pull it out, and you pull it down, and just kind of just pull it, tug it, and pull it, tug it, and pull. And then, yep, you got a little tie on here. It's not the perfect tie, but I mean, you know, it's pretty good. Alright, so this is how you do a tie. And so the next time you guys see somebody struggling with the tie, you guys can always help them do a standard half Windsor tie. Okay, here's everyone. Doop, doop, doop. Alright.